Let's start from the beginning. Here we go.
The name of the opera is Tienda. On the surface, it's the story of Luis Garzon, who was one of the first Mexican-American immigrants to Minnesota. He came here on tour with an orchestra from Mexico in 1886. He got ill in the middle of the tour and was left behind. He eventually married a nice lady from Iowa, and he became a community leader. He had a grocery store, and this store was really the heartbeat of that community, right? The place where people came together to get a sense of home.
I am Luis Garzon, proprietor, musician, and here we provide groceries, friendship, community. The last two are free.
Throughout the late 20s and early 30s, if you look remotely Mexican, they were rounding people up and putting them on trains and sending them back home. And it became clear that it would be a very interesting story to tell in the context of Luis's story, but also with that surrounding political climate around it.
This cannot happen.
This is what's best.
Not here, not in St. Paul.
And one of the heartbreaking parts of the opera is how Luis has become assimilated. He thinks he's become a Minnesotan, and at this point, it is made quite clear to him that he will never be one of them.
If they were rounding up Mexicans, I wouldn't know.
It's that realization that he will forever be an outsider, even though his heart has now felt a strong connection and allegiance to the United States, and he thinks of himself as a Minnesotan. What's a good place?
Double F?
Double F, yeah. So I grew up in Caracas, Venezuela. That's the city where I was born. I think that my experience as an immigrant here in the United States has had a very strong influence on the work that I do, especially my more recent work, where I seek to tell the stories of the immigrants because I myself was an immigrant. I am an immigrant. I will never feel 100% American. But at this point, 18 years into this adventure, I don't feel 100% Venezuelan. I'm a happy blend of the two. Can you not call attention to the 𝙏𝙖 though? My favorite music often is music where you can feel a groove, but you can't quite figure out how that groove is happening. But you feel that almost animal desire to move to it. I find that really fascinating.
Do you really want all those bowings in here? Because you've created like a lot of short slurs. So if I play it that way, I feel like that's a bit choppy.
It creates like fake accents.
A little bit. What if I added some more slurs?
Yeah. I think that sometimes audiences don't know quite what to do with some of my rhythms, but Francesca has helped a lot in that, kind of making things more manageable, more understandable, but at the same time, it's part of what I do.
Is that better?
It's really nice.
Yeah, I like that too.
If I were to kind of file that away, then it's kind of taking away part of the personality of the music. When I was applying for the position of composer in residence at the Schubert Club, one of the things they ask you to think about in the application process is to put together a work that you'd like to write for the Schubert Club to commission while you're in residence. This obviously would not happen because it's costly and it takes resources. So I, for one, I'm extremely thankful to the Schubert Club for their support. For me, one of the important things about this story is opening up this world of opera to people who have not been reflected in this world before, for people who haven't had their stories told through this medium. Keep it really, really nice and soft until the very last measure, right? I think that when you're a young musician, young composer, as you grow, you discover different ways of maybe bringing some aspects of the music back, but not in the exact way, or figuring out a way to come to a different conclusion that maybe wasn't apparent from the beginning. But you get to those things through lots of searching and through trial and error and time.